guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I'm starting to grow a beard, so I've been in isolation for a couple of weeks now. It's good. I don't like shaving. Anyway, today we're going to be checking out my XR6 Turbo and the mods that I've done and what's coming for it in the future. And we'll just go over the little things that is going to be going on with the car. Alrighty, so straight off the bat, as you can see, I've done the Ants intercooler piping. This is the stage 2 kit. To be honest, I wasn't very happy with the fitment of it. As you can see, get out of the road, that pipe there. As you can see, as it connects onto the turbo housing there, I'll see if I can get a better shot. There we go. You can see that the that silicon joiner isn't really on there straight. It's on an angle, which is putting pressure on that. It hasn't blown off, but it's, you know, it's a weak point in the intercooler piping. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. As you can see, I've done the muffler delete, got rid of that muffler, put in just that pipe there that comes off the rest of the intake piping down into the turbo. I've also done the Ants upgraded braided line and the filter, which again I wasn't too happy with the fitment, because as you can see, the braided line, it's got a bend on that end and obviously a bend at this end. Now that end should really go onto the turbo, but I had trouble getting that end onto the turbo as there was just no room. I have seen people do it, so you can obviously do it, but I couldn't get the fitting started on the thread, so I've just had to do it that way. It hasn't leaked and I haven't had any issues, so it provides fucking oil to the turbo, so it's doing its job and that's all it's got to do. I don't know if you can really call it a mod. Blocked off the blow-off valve, which is nice. You get that nice flutter, but yeah, that's about it. So apart from them, a couple of things, that's about all I've done so far. Although I have only had the car for a couple of months. Right now, as for things that I have on the way or plans for mods in the future, in the post at the moment I've got a battery slide relocation kit coming. So get rid of the battery from there, put it there where the airbox is, so it's just straight clean air behind the headlight straight into the turbo. So that eliminates all this piping, and instead of getting cool air coming in through this scoop into your airbox, over the hot motor and then into the turbo, the lower intake temps therefore should increase your power. I will probably clean that up because I really do not like how it sits. It looks like shit sitting there. I'm not a fan, but anyway, we'll sort that out. So next on the mods list will be some new injectors, new fuel pump, valve springs, and that'll be about it for the moment. Engine wise, that'll get me close to 350 kilowatt that I'm chasing for this year, and we'll see how we go. Might need some extra little things, may not. Or, like I said, we'll see how we go. We'll go get it tuned and we'll see how much power it makes. But with a good tune and you know, a more freer flowing exhaust system, you should easily see 350 kilowatts easily. Also a little bit of maintenance sort of shit that I like to do. I'm going to flush this and clean the coolant reservoir. As you can see, somebody hasn't fucking put in proper demineralized water. They've just gone straight from the tap, and now we've got calcium build up. This can be a real big problem, because if any of that calcium breaks off and then goes into your radiator, or into your coolant pipes I should say, and then into your radiator, they can block it up and then you can have serious issues. especially on a turbo when you're trying to pull some big power. You want to make sure you have good cooling. So that'll be on the cards. Rip that out, give it a good hose out, and then replace it with proper coolant instead of just a coolant concentrate and some tap water. Also got some new spark plugs on the way and some new ignition coils as well. The car's just clicked over to 100,000 kilometers, so it's probably due for some new spark plugs and ignition coils, because goodness knows if they've ever actually been changed. So that'll be a little bit more of maintenance to go on. Also, we'll get a new exhaust system put onto the car as well. Before the tune happens, we'll probably get just a Venom catback system, and then once it's coming up for a tune, I'll get the dump and a high flowing cat, because if you're going to do that, we need a tune anyway, so that'll be on the cards as well. Now onto the brakes. I've got some DBA X Gold slotted and drill brakes that'll be coming for the front, as well as EBC yellow stuff pads all around. The XR6 turbo brakes, while they're good for when you're in traffic, they stop well. If you're going to be doing any spirited driving or anything like that, they're shit. They fade really quick, and yeah, the pedal feel just turns to shit very quickly. So they will be going on the front, and I have some VMAX. What are they? They're just some slotted discs to go on the rear with EBC pads again, the yellow stuffs. I've ran them on everything, and I've been extremely happy with how they perform, with very minimal brake fade, and really good initial bite and pedal feel. They pull you up on a dime, so I can't complain with them at all. So yeah, that'll be about it for brakes. I won't have to touch that again. That'll be the system that I'll probably run, unless I start making some really extreme horsepower. We might have to look at upgrading the brakes, but for now that'll be more than ample. Right, we'll move on to suspension now. Not you can really see any suspension components. Oh, you sort of can. I've got some teen coilovers that'll go into the rear of the car. I found them on the Facebook Marketplace, like you find most things. They were $400 for the set for the rear, so I snapped them up quick smart, because you don't really see them that cheap. They're quite an expensive coilover, probably some of the best that you can find really for the Falcon, unless you're going to go some Shockworks, or I think they're MCA or something like that. I can't remember what they're called, but they're also another quite reputable brand that will do you well. So I snapped them up for the rear. They'll get fitted at some stage, and as I said, I'm looking for teens for the front as well. There is a supplier here in Townsville, so I'll probably go to them and see if they can do me a deal for just the fronts, as I obviously don't need the rear. So they'll go in, make the drivability a lot nicer, but I mean, it comes at a cost. The ride will be a bit more harsh, but for your cornering and handling performance, it would be second to none. The front shocks, I don't know if they've ever been changed, the genuine ones, and they feel a bit well used, I suppose you could say. So they'll be definitely getting swapped out as soon as possible. When you go over bumps and stuff, you can feel that the shocks aren't really doing their job, so they definitely need to be changed as well. But yeah, apart from that, that's about all that we've got going on at the moment. As the car sits, it's a pretty capable car. It's straight out of factory. You don't really have to do too much to it to be, to have a quick car. of course, you can go crazy with it and you can make bulk power. We all know that the Barras make bulk power very easily. Like I said, there's only a few engine mods that I'll be doing to make 350 kilowatts. And you know, that's pretty cheap, easy power. Of course, you know, you got to think about things later on as you get over the 350 kilowatt mark. You know, you start going into transmissions and drive shafts and axles and, you know, all that sort of stuff. But, you know, that's further down the track. So my goal this year for this car is to make 350 kilowatts. Like I said, should do it rather easily. And, you know, as long as you drive it, you know, semi-normally and you look after it and maintain it well and do the correct supporting mods, easy, and you'll have a long lifespan out of your turbo. So that's about it for this one. Just thought I'd give you a quick update as what the car's going to be turned into, things I've got for it in the future, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.